Hello. So I'm a musician, and yes, I'm also the executive director of Planet Reimagined, but you might be surprised that a musician is up here on stage. But don't fear. I also have my PhD in human rights law and sustainable development. I teach climate campaigning at Columbia, and I work on a lot of federal energy policy with the US government. But I want to start by talking about the first thing, which is music. Now, we just got off a 50-city US tour. My band is called AJR. We played 50 cities across the US arenas, including a couple nights here at Madison Square Garden. And at every single stop of the summer part of this tour, we had opportunities for fans to engage in climate action. And what I mean by that, it's not asking them to take pledges to switch away from plastic straws and move to paper straws. It was real, direct, civic and political action. At every stop, we had opportunities by partnering with local organizations for people to register to vote, check their voter registration, sign petitions around a local issue, actually phone bank on site. We gave people scripts. They could pick up their phone, call their local representative, and make a choice about what they wanted to ask them to vote for. We did this in the most liberal cities in the United States, and we did this in the most conservative cities in the United States. Now, bringing those two groups together inspired me for something else, and I'm going to tell you a quick story about it. While the Inflation Reduction Act was being negotiated, I spent a lot of time in Congress, and I spoke to equal numbers of Republicans and Democrats in both houses to figure out, okay, where is this common ground? Where can we find common ground, the same way we did on tour? We actually found common ground in around 18 million acres of public land. We looked at this land, which was all oil and gas land, and we thought, okay, what if we could put renewable energy on top of current and former oil and gas land? What if we could use this land that was already disturbed and turn it into something that was really useful? We worked with both Republicans and Democrats to appeal to the Department of Interior, because never before in US history has this been allowed. We found these 18 million acres, and through our analysis, we figured that we could generate about 2,000 new gigawatts of renewable energy just by looking at current and former oil and gas land, a number that has never been taken into account in any study about producing new renewable energy. It took a lot of work to bring Republicans and Democrats to the table. When talking to Republicans, we were talking about jobs, we were talking about very specific districts and their local economies. When we were talking to Democrats, we were focused on the transition away from fossil fuels and carbon reduction. It was the exact same policy, and we sold it differently to the two sides of the political spectrum. Now, this idea is also really strong because it removes years of environmental review processes because the data has already been collected. It makes use of really important infrastructure that's already there, saving these companies money, and most importantly, it gives these oil and gas communities a new lease on life. Now, we brought this idea together because of the inspiration that we got, that we could see fans from all across the United States, no matter what city that they were from, coming together to take local specific climate action. And now we are starting to build pilot sites for these renewable energy projects in Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico, really finding this common ground. It really does exist in the United States. I promise I've seen it in cities all over this country. We just need to talk to people in the language that they understand. Thank you so much.